Which of the hardest extreme demons has the most aura? Today, we find out. Bad hairline. If you've got a bad hairline, if your hairline's like all the way up here, bro, you've got no aura. Like that. Unless you're bald, you've got no aura. Piece of bread, it's just there. There's not anything too crazy, you know what I mean? Fresh haircut, you feel like you've got a bit of something about you. You feel good. No look. And then Auralicious being the top tier is just like the top of the top, you know? What does Thinking Space 2 have? I'm not gonna lie, Thinking Space 2 is kind of a piece of bread for me. It's nothing special. It might be a fresh haircut though. I don't know, it's got a little bit about it, but it's nothing too crazy. And I think that's what TS2 kind of embodies. Like, it's the hardest level, so it automatically has some, but it's not got too much, you know? Amethyst, bad hairline. Actually, let's change this to receding hairline. Is that even, how do you spell receding? How do you spell receding? I did get it right, that's good. Yes. Tidal Wave. Low-key, I don't think it has aura. It kind of just exists, you know? Like, it's not like TS2. It doesn't have that thing about it anymore because it's not the hardest difficulty. So I'd say it's low-key just a piece of bread. It's not very offensive. I don't know, it doesn't really have an atmosphere. At least, like, visually watching it. It doesn't make me, like, clench my cheeks or anything, you know? Also, low-key, I'm just going to delete the no-look tier because it's kind of stupid. Alright, Nullscapes. Does Nullscapes have aura? You know what, kind of. I think it might be more than Thinking Space 2. Just because, like, Robot Only is like, there's only 3 levels on the list, soon to be 2 levels, yeah, where there's only robot in it, and I think that's actually kind of cool. But it's nothing like crazy. Like, it got its first Victor now. It might have been Auralicious before, but it's not anymore. But I think it has more than Thinking Space 2. Booba Womba. Does Booba Womba have aura? As a name, no. As a level, absolutely. It has its own code, essentially. It's not been beaten in the year since it's been verified. No one wants to play it. It's like pushing other levels away with its aura, and that's what gives this level the Auralicious vibe. I think Booba Womba is probably one of the higher ones on this list. Initially, when I was thinking of this, I was thinking like, Booba Womba doesn't have that much, but when you look into like the history of the level, it's kind of Auralicious, you know? Anathema. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit biased for Anathema, because realistically, I think Anathema is probably just fresh haircut, but low-key, I think it might be close to Auralicious. I'm not gonna put it Auralicious. I think below Nullscapes is fair. I think the atmosphere that level brings, and like the amount of times you like stop for a second when you're far, and there's like auto parts to like build your nerves up, it brings aura to the level. It makes you care about the attempt a lot, and I think that's important. Todd. Where do we put Todd? I'm not gonna lie, I only call this level Todd now, because realistically, who gaff? You know what? This level has aura though, I will say that. Hey, Consuno. Mainly because the song, it doesn't give any thoughts of like atmosphere or anything. It's so unapologetically itself. And low-key, I think it has less than Thinking Space 2. I lied. Maybe Thinking Space 2 is just a piece of bread after all. Yeah, Tunnel of Despair has like a little bit. Especially the waves are like so unique as well for the difficulty. Like, you don't see any waves like it. Hey man, yeah, I wouldn't really give it too much. I'm not gonna lie, I actually have to rewatch Menace because I don't know what it looks like. But from what I know, it's kind of like fresh haircut type vibe. Right, does this have aura? It's quite a long level, so it kind of has that on its side. It's very quirky, which is the problem. Now, I don't know if that gives it more or less aura. Low-key, this part's pretty cool. Like, when you hear from Zero the first time, you must be bricking it. And by bricking it, I mean literally just there's a log in your pants for how much you're shitting it. I think I've kind of got the idea of what I want this to be. Low-key, I think I'm going to move this down and move this up. I just don't think it's that interesting. I'm not going to lie to you. Cosmos. Now, if this was Cosmos Unleashed and like watching the verification, it would be no hairline. Like, it would be a tier under. But the actual Cosmos has grown on me a little bit. I think the CPS kind of like really gives it that oomph, because it just feels like so crazy, like intense kind of thing. So I think I'm just going to put this above Menace because I have to do less thinking about that. I don't think it's better than Todd though. No, it's better than Todd. It's better than Todd. But it's not higher than Anathema. There's no way. Every End. This one's a tough one. It's definitely going high for sure. I'm not sure why this level has aura either. It kind of just does. I think it's the song. It feels so nonchalant. And that's what Auralicious people kind of are. They're very nonchalant when something crazy happens. And I feel like this is a great example of that. I think I might put this Auralicious, you know. I think it's above these two for sure. Yeah. Now, Defeated Circles. Does this level have aura? I kind of need to look at a video, not gonna lie. I know it's the newest level on the block, but like, no one really gaff about this level, bro. Oh, the song's a lot less intense than I thought it would be. This reminds me of Solar Flare a little bit. Yeah, this reminds me a bit of a piece of bread. It might even be receding, you know. It's almost receding. I think I'll put it almost receding. It's just a regular piece of bread. Now, Kyuki. Now, Kyuki is very similar to Anathema. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I might just slap this up here and be done with it because I love Kyuki. I think the atmosphere is incredible. The decoration's good. The intensity is great. I think it deserves Auralicious. I can't lie. I don't really have much else to say. I kind of want to do this as a hardest at some point. Sub-Terminal Point. Let's be honest. Sub-Terminal Point has 0 aura. Like, it's just so mid. Like, who gaff? Let's just move on with our day. Slaughterhouse. This is going to be not interesting one. I'm just going to put it up here. Because realistically, it would be number 1, but it's got over 100 victors now that I learned the other day. I don't know if my eyes look really red. I do apologize if they do. My eyes have been really itchy recently. Freaking hell, my eye. Stop, please. I will say Slaughterhouse is very, very Auralicious, but I don't think it's quite there. It's like this really crazy level, and it's got 100 victors. Like, it kind of lost a bit. Coupon Circles. I don't know if you can consider if this level has aura or not. It kind of doesn't. In fact, I don't think it does at all. I think it could potentially be Receding Hairline. It's down here. I'm sorry. It's just like a brain rot jumper level that just like most people who have beaten it. I don't know. Like, no one's made this level that interesting, even though everyone's beaten it. That's why it's got less aura. What level is that? Oh, Andromeda. This is like the least of aura. Even down here, probably. Or is it lower than Sub-Terminal Point? I don't know. They're kind of like joint. I think I'm just going to leave it there. But like, they're basically both last in the aura department. Now, Avernus. This level might be a fresh haircut, but like just barely. Actually, it might have more than... I think it's got more than Menace. And that's not because I think Menace is not auraful, but I think it's purely because it had the same thing as like Booba Womba and Nullscapes. And I think that's why it slightly edges it on that point. Acheron. Ooh. I'm not gonna lie, I think Acheron lost its aura. Even when it was top 1, like, I never really found it all that. And this is coming from the guy that beat Tartarus as his hardest and loves, like, Eternus as well. There's something about Acheron that just doesn't quite do it for me. Like, the song is pretty good, and the gameplay is, like, alright, but it's just, there's something about the gameplay that just feels a little off. And it kind of like takes the aura away. I don't know how to describe it really. I think it might just go below Tidal Wave, but above Defeated Circles. Yeah, I think that works. Fireworks a tough one, you know. I think I know where it's gonna go. It's gonna go in Fresh Haircut. I don't think it's quite Auralicious. And hear me out, okay? The level has phenomenal atmosphere. It's like Slaughterhouse, but like way further down now. Actually, what has more victors? Let's quickly have a look. This has 156, and this has... Oh damn, it might go higher then, huh? Yeah, that's the shock of the day. Firework has less victors than Slaughterhouse, but it also does make sense because wave carry players are like... I think Firework's going to go the higher end of Fresh Haircut. I think it's going to go above Cosmos, but below Anathema. I think they're both really similar, but I think Firework edges it slightly because of the longer ending. Now, Hybrid Deimos. I'm not gonna lie, when I made this tier list, it like shouted at me. It was like, oh, hello, I'm here. Yeah, I think Deimos might genuinely just be number 1. Like, even though it's on the easier end, the atmosphere that level has, like the intensity the whole way through, like the fact that it slows down at 50 and slowly builds up and builds up again, I fuck with it heavy. I'm not gonna lie. And there's a reason a lot of people beat it, right? I was an initial hater, I will say that, but it's grown on me a lot. Spectre. I'm not gonna lie, Spectre doesn't hit the same, considering someone fluked it from like, where was it? Where did Levi fluke it from? Yeah, fluke from 45, like, compared to Zodiac, it's really not all that. Yeah, Spectre, I'm not gonna lie. Piece of bread, probably above Acheron. Abyss of Darkness. This might be a guaranteed fresh haircut, I'm not gonna lie. But where, though? I think it might have more than Firework. Because it's an old impossible level, it kind of just has that vibe about it. I'm basically trying to figure out, does it have more than Anathema or not? I think it does, but it's not better than Nullscapes in terms of aura, anyway. I think that's a good place for it. I think that's a good place. Flame Wall. Most people would be like,
oh, Flame Wall, Auralicious as fuck.
I think it's top of Fresh Haircut. I do get why people care about it. It's carried by the song, but I don't think the actual gameplay is that, like, special. It doesn't make me, personally, feel all that much, other than when, like, someone's in a big run, and that's so unlikely with a level that hard. So I'm gonna put it there, out of respect for everyone, and just move on with my day. Silent Club Step. Initially, first 3 levels when I thought of this tier list was Deimos, Slaughterhouse, and Silent Club Step. I thought they were all gonna go in Auralicious, like, straight away. But every time I hear someone else mention Silent Club Step, like, they always mention how it was a disappointment and that the unnerf should have been verified. In terms of Aura, now people mention that, I'm gonna put it there for everyone who's mentioned it beforehand. If it gets verified legitimately, like, unnerf, up here. But until then, down here. The light, I need to watch a video of the light. I always forget what this level looks like. This level actually executes its theme very well, and it's something I always, like, forget about. But the level itself is just not that memorable. Ultimately, let's put the lightning rod in a piece of bread. Where in piece of bread? Above defeated circles. And that is my very Auralicious tier list.